Hello Cyclones everywhere and happy State Day. My name is Matt Van Winkle, Visual Content Specialist here at the ISU Alumni Association.
And my name is Bryn Sweary, Manager of Special Events and Programs. Thank you to those who are watching tonight. State Day celebrates Iowa State's Founders Day. As of today, Iowa State is 165 years old. We're here to wish ISU a big happy birthday.
And we're curious, who is watching with us online tonight? Tell us in the comments where you're tuning in from. And if you went to school at Iowa State, we'd love to know what years you were here.
You know what we always say, Cyclones are truly everywhere, and that's certainly no different with the audience we have tonight. We had registrations come in from more than 30 different states and countries.
Today marks the 6th anniversary of the State Day program here at the Iowa State University Alumni Association. We are excited to give you a behind-the-scenes look at some of the things that make Iowa State such a special place.
Throughout the evening, we will be giving away prizes to those who pre-registered to watch tonight's event. I think it's about time we give away our first prize. What do you think, Matt?
Let's do it. Congratulations, Jennifer French. Thank you for watching and participating. We'll be in touch with you after the event to claim your ISU flag and coasters. Well, I think we are all ready to dive into these spotlights, Bryn.
Wait, before we get started, I think the class of 1973 deserves a shout out. Congratulations, it's been 50 years since you became alumni of Iowa State. Let's take a look back and celebrate with your classmates near and far.
Cheers to 50 years and greetings from your Iowa State University Alumni Association. This celebration is one that I hope will reach every member of your class, whether you are right here in Ames or halfway around the globe. And I'm challenging you to take this moment to reconnect with your ISU Alumni Association. At the association, we are working hard to fulfill our mission of communication, member engagement, and institutional advocacy. Here are just a few examples. Telling Cyclone stories through our magazine and online communications. Networking with fellow Cyclones at local and regional events, including game watches. Creating Legacy Club for Cyclone kiddos to help get them hooked on the Cardinal and Gold early. Providing ISU Alumni Association members with 350,000 national and local discounts, and more. Support from Alumni Association members make this work possible. So if you're not a member and would like to help, please consider joining the Alumni Association by visiting isualum.org/join. Once again, thank you for choosing to be a part of this family of Cyclones everywhere, and go Cyclones!
We hope you are able to connect with your fellow classmates this year to celebrate this exciting milestone. Congratulations.
Since 1996, the ISU Pappajohn Center has been helping entrepreneurs across the state succeed, including Iowa State students, faculty, and alumni, along with Iowan innovators and business owners.
Let's take a look at the many ways the center continues to make an impact.
The Pappajohn Center for Entrepreneurship is a center here at Iowa State that works to continue entrepreneurship learning outside of the classroom. So we offer extracurricular experiences and opportunities for students to continue to explore this idea of entrepreneurship and starting something. We have programming that ranges from workshops to pitch competitions to accelerators and incubators. We engage people from the community as well as students, and our goal is just to help start things. Some of our flagship programs at the Pappajohn Center are SciStarters, SciBiz Lab, and Startup Factory. SciStarters is an 11-week program where we pay students to intern for their own companies and give them the resources they need to kickstart their business. During the 11 weeks, they get space to work out of, so they work out of our offices and we give them accountability, so our team meets with them on a weekly basis. We have education sessions every day throughout the summer, so we bring in different professionals, whether it's entrepreneurs or people in a certain space that we need their expertise in, to come teach them on those different topics. And then we give them professional mentors from the bigger community and also money to start their business.
So I've learned so much. Honestly, this program has just made the grand visions that I have for my brand seem much more obtainable. I remember before the program, thinking about being a business owner and really having all that responsibility, but not exactly knowing what all the responsibilities were. This has really put it in perspective for me and known things that I need to make sure are happening so that I am good with finance, the financial as well as production and just being efficient in everything that I do with my business. So I think it was a perfect time for me to join this program and start off the right way.
It's a great opportunity to just hold yourself accountable because it's really hard in the first stage of a business, getting it started up, getting off the ground when you don't have any liabilities. You have to know and believe that the world needs your product, and having that accountability when you're doubting yourself of other people is really useful for really getting off the ground.
SciBiz Lab is a program where we hire students out of interdisciplinary fields. So they're all over different college majors and skill sets to work on market research projects with real industries, startup companies, and just ideas coming out of the university. As an experiential learning opportunity for students, you get a different aspect of job life, of working with real clients that's completely different from within the classroom. So SciBiz Lab actually pays students. It's very competitive to get into the program, but we hire some of the best students to work on teams. So basically the students are assigned a project task, whether that be looking into bringing a new product into a market, bringing some data and insights on what consumers think about this new product or service. They're doing surveys, they're doing focus groups, they're analyzing large sets of data, and bringing those insights and recommendations to our clients.
So originally the Startup Factory historically was started back in 2016. That was basically to take funded research from ideation all the way through to commercialization. And then it became part of the Pappajohn Center. And looking at this opportunity, have been modifying the program to better address some of the issues that go along with faculty members who are trying to become entrepreneurs or just trying to bring their research to the commercial markets. What we would like to do is to make sure that you take a look at your idea, that we explore it beyond the original problem that you were looking at, and see what all the possibilities are. And so it's our goal to really expand your thinking and then try to build a business model around it. Then it's our goal then to give you the overall experience of what do you need to know if you're going to be a founder. And then at the end of the program, we try to make sure that there is a blueprint for the next 18 to 24 months on what they have to do to be successful.
So at Clayton Farms, we build direct-to-consumer indoor farms so we can provide fresh food directly to people's doorsteps year-round. Today, we grow leafy greens such as lettuces and arugula, microgreens such as broccoli sprouts, and even cherry tomatoes. I'm Clayton Mooney. I'm co-founder and CEO at Clayton Farms. So during my time at Iowa State, I was involved in the Pappajohn Center's SciStarters program, the summer accelerator, as well as Startup Factory. SciStarters is one of the best accelerators in the state. Not too many places will pay you to work on your company full-time and not take equity. So that's a big win there. But from day one, you're in a cohort of peers who are all in similar stages. And that really makes the rising tide raises all ships approach prevalent, so we can all learn together and hopefully jump over those hurdles or through those walls together. And something that I really appreciate from the SciStarters and Startup Factory community and members is recruiting past SciStarters and Startup Factory members. Over half of our team today have previously started companies.
So my name is Huey, and I graduated in 2019 with a degree in ag business and a minor in entrepreneurship. And I'm working at Clayton Farms, and my position is market manager of Iowa. The Pappajohn Center specifically, we're involved with our startup one-hop shop. You know, here comes the Startup Factory, and they'll take you from A to Z on how to run a business, which is really helpful. And then working with like-minded students in SciStarters the following year was really beneficial as well. When you're teaching people, you also learn a lot. So it's cool to be able to teach people that are right alongside you, and you learn from them as well. So it's a win-win for sure.
Next, we took a trip out to a farm right here in central Iowa to visit with Iowa State and SciStarters alum Dylan Hurd. Let's learn more about how he saw a problem and created a solution in the ag industry.
Haber Technologies is an on-farm automation company. So we specialize in automating and controlling systems on the farm, primarily around grain management. So the dry stack system is our first product that we've come to market with, and it is an automated and smart grain drying and aeration system. The business actually, or the core theoretical concepts that the air delivery system is based on, came from work that me and the co-founder Eric did at our undergrad at Iowa State. And so part of a senior design class actually is what it was. And there we were just really trying to solve the air delivery problems that are commonplace around the grain management world. And that is not having enough air or not having fans that are big enough to push the air through the grain mass. So that's really where it originated. And then obviously through the ecosystem at Iowa State, through the Startup Factory, the Egg Startup Engine, SciStarters, all of those tools that are available to students now allowed us to actually grow and take this from a concept to a commercialized product and to build an entire business on it. The dry stack system is really made up of two core components. There's the air delivery system, which you see behind me here. We leverage a multitude of stacks, as we call them, and valves to deliver air to different layers in the bin. This increases the efficiency of the drying and also saves energy. On top of that, obviously, there is a lot of intelligence and automation behind it, and that is the IoT system that actually controls the system here at the bin and then allows the farmer to control and view it from the website as well.
So with our system, compared to a conventional air drying bin, we can dry that grain 4 times faster and save up to 50% in energy. So what that means for a farmer, that means that now he can take a bin that he's just using once a year, and now he can do multiple batches of corn through that bin for almost the same amount of energy that he was using before. And so what this does is this allows a farmer to take an asset he already owns and really turbocharge and fully utilize that asset to a fuller extent.
So the principles of the dry stack system, are kind of twofold. There's the air delivery and then the automation. The air delivery system really changes some of the fundamentals about drying solids, right? By taking a larger mass and cutting it into smaller layers, right? That's applicable across industries, right? Even beyond agriculture. For us, we've applied it to corn because we're surrounded in corn, but we do soybeans, we do wheat, we do rye, we also do walnuts. We have a pilot project out in California, and we're exploring other commodities around seed corn drying, around rice drying, and also pistachios. And so the technology has a wide base in terms of problems that it can solve, and that's just in agriculture. Helping farmers both realize those profitability gains, but also to help them in the long term benefit additionally from those sustainable practices is another part of our business that we're really hoping to understand and help farmers succeed in that realm.
It was so fun to meet alums like Dylan and Clayton, who have built businesses from the ground up right here in Iowa.
I love how they both continue to give back by supporting the next generation of entrepreneurs at the Pappajohn Center.
I think it's time to announce our next prize winner. Congratulations, Gary Bennett from the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Thank you for watching and participating. We'll be in touch with you after the event to claim your ISU flag and coasters.
For those of you watching, feel free to start dropping your college in the comments. I graduated from the College of Human Sciences, so I am very excited about this next feature. Let's head to the Tearoom inside McKay Hall on campus to learn more about its rich history and how it continues to serve as a learning space for students.
We are in the Joan Bice Underwood Tearoom, and this is our teaching classroom space for our hospitality management students, culinary science students, and dietetic students.
This tea room dates back to 1926. I like to think about it as Iowa State has been innovating for a very long time, and at that point in history, having a tea room on campus that was run by students was novel. It was an innovation, and I think that the remarkable thing is that it continues today. So we're almost into the 100th year of the tea room being in operation at Iowa State. There you go. It's been, since that time and through the years, such an amazing place for our students to get hands-on experience. So they are taking on the roles of managing and running a restaurant operation 4 days a week, every semester, and they get experience with planning the menus, using the institutional equipment, serving the meals, cooking the meals, customer service, all of those things that our students do when they graduate from Iowa State and move on to their careers.
Experiential learning like this, internships and those kinds of experiences is one of the high impact educational practices that we tout as extremely important as students learn to translate what they're learning in the classroom to a real life practical experience outside of the classroom. And that's where learning really takes hold, right? It becomes your own once you've applied it in a real life situation.
Well, today my role is I'm helping out with the chef. I'm a K-prep today. So I'm helping out with the spaghetti sauce, and it's gonna be a good day. There's a front of house and back of house. In the kitchen we have the back of house, and we have 4 main roles, which are the chef, the pastry chef, the baker, and then the garmager. And so each of these roles we work on the main dish, a side dish, and then dessert, and then rolls, or like some sort of bread pastry. We all are working together to kind of just bring out a meal, which is the weekly special, to the guests, which are out in the front of the house. And then we have servers that will do their job. We just kind of are running our own little restaurant here. We have definitely learned, we've had some ups and downs, so it's definitely a good teaching lab experience.
It is a laboratory and restaurant simulation, but also you learn incredible time management skills, great communication skills, being able to multitask, and just learn skills that you can not only apply in a restaurant setting, but also in real world scenarios that aren't in culinary world.
Food has always been one of those things that bring people together, and the ability to provide people a great environment with food, camaraderie, and students that are interested in serving and from scratch is a really important component too, that they are learning to make products from scratch and serving it to your guests. And I think that has resonated well with the Ames community as well as Iowa State campus.
It was really good. This is actually my first time here. $8 is really good for like a whole meal. I like that it's all run by students and that it's a whole class.
It's just like a part of Iowa State history. It's amazing to be part of that history and be able to follow in the Joan Bice Underwood legacy.
It's just been a phenomenal tea room, learning lab, just student experiential learning space for all that time. And so I think we could say that we have the longest running student-run restaurant at a university, and so we're really proud of that.
That food looks delicious. Did you get a chance to try the pasta?
I did. I had that spaghetti. It was so fresh and so good. They gave it to me to go, which is another cool feature they offer. Really nice service they provide.
They also have dessert. One of the most popular desserts served in the tea room for decades has been the coconut twist. We were lucky enough to have an Iowa State student show us how you can make these tasty treats from your own kitchen.
Forever True Day is Iowa State's newest tradition in philanthropy, encouraging Cyclones around the world to come together to support the places and programs we love most at Iowa State University.
Let's hear more about how you can support the Alumni Association.
Cyclones everywhere. It's time to showcase your true colors.
That's right, Jeff. Join the Cyclone community on April 4th and 5th for 24 hours of Cyclone power during Forever True Day.
This 24-hour online giving celebration starts at noon on April 4th.
Your gift supports student leaders in the Student Alumni Leadership Council and the Future Alumni Network, plus alumni programming in your community, your state, and virtually around the world.
And guess what, Kaylee? We have some fun giving challenges for Cyclones everywhere to take part in this year. So I encourage all Cyclones to celebrate Forever True Day by making a gift, participating in the online fun, and sharing your passion for Iowa State University.
See you on Forever True Day.
And go Cyclones!
Did you know that food insecurity is prevalent on college campuses?
Next, we visited another special spot on campus that provides students the opportunity to stock their shelves.
My name is Rachel McCurran. I'm a senior in microbiology here at Iowa State. I am the current co-president of SHOP, and I've been involved with this organization since I was a freshman. So SHOP is a student organization here on campus that's run completely by students for students in an effort to reduce the presence of food insecurity here on campus. So SHOP was actually started 10 years ago by a group of FSH and transfer students that were kind of given this assignment because there was a need for a food security resource here on campus. It's been becoming more and more prevalent throughout the years. We actually started 10 years ago in a literal closet across campus, and just within the past 2 years we've been able to move into this amazing space. We've been able to get industrial refrigeration, and we've been able to make partnerships within the community to help stock these shelves weekly. The need for a food security resource has pretty much always been present on campus. It's just more recently it's been more prevalent, and we've been seeing huge numbers increase as people become more aware of this resource. Shop used to be fully stocked by donations, but recently we partnered with the Food Bank of Iowa to start purchasing bi-weekly huge orders, hundreds of pounds of foods to fill these shelves up. And then that's still not enough, so every other week we purchase from the local Fairway to keep these shelves stocked for our students. Any students in need are welcome to come visit during any of our open hours. All they need to do is scan their ID at the front desk, and then they are welcome to come in here, no questions asked, and they can pick out whatever they want from the shelves, and then a volunteer will help weigh and count the amount of items that they've taken, and then they can just go on their way. I don't think people realize how present food insecurity is here at Iowa State, and the second I realized that, I wanted to get more involved. I wanted to help combat that, and I have been able to do so through this organization. I have seen this place go from a literal closet to this amazing, like, grocery store looking food pantry, and I'm really proud of the work that we've done here, and I'm really proud that we have real results to show that we are making a difference in reducing the presence of food insecurity here at Iowa State. We have just seen exponential growth within the past year. We were looking at a couple hundred visits every month, and just recently we surpassed over 1,000 visits a month. We recently surpassed over 10,000 pounds of food being given out a month. So there's definitely a real need for this resource on campus, and it continues to grow, and just like you can definitely see that in our data that people are taking this food because they really do need it. One of the more direct ways people could get involved is through the ISU Foundation. We actually have a partnership with them. We have an account through them. People can donate money to us through them, and then it comes directly to us, and we use that money to purchase food for the shelves. We also use it to purchase these industrial size refrigeration. We're looking to purchase a bigger space eventually, so all of that money just goes towards helping students.
Can you believe the shop started in a small closet? Incredible. I actually was a student at the time it opened, and it's amazing to see how much it has grown since then.
Iowa Staters know how to get things done. If you want to help combat food insecurity, please consider donating by visiting the link in the chat to support the shop to help end campus hunger.
It amazes me how much Iowa State students manage to fit into a day. From class to homework, to practice to volunteering, this next student is a prime example of what it means to be a Cyclone.
I'm Gabe Kalscheur. I'm from Edina, Minnesota. Kind of just a simple guy, but really family-based and just hard-driven of work ethic and just opportunity. So as a kid, it was just me and my mom. She kind of raised me, really fighting through adversity. It's kind of always been my motive that she's distilled upon me. She's a big reason why I do a lot of things I do. So I kind of wanted to just branch my name out, my name, image, and likeness for do like NIL stuff. And I've always thought of just like giving to others.
My name is Andrew Allen. I'm president and CEO at YSS. YSS is one of Iowa's largest and most comprehensive youth-serving organizations, founded in the mid-'70s right here in Ames, Iowa, today providing services statewide to kids and families who need behavioral health services, prevention services, education and stability. Gabe actually reached out to YSS, and I think that speaks to the character of this young man. He's got such a commitment to Iowa State University and Ames, Iowa, that he really wanted to immerse himself in an organization that was working with kids and families across the community. And so Gabe reached out and said, how can I help?
Giving to others, giving back to people has always just kind of originated through my family. Being able to do something like that here in Ames, so it was a kind of a no-brainer. I'm blessed to really help them and just be able to be there for the kids that are struggling with addictions and homelessness, because there's people like that are in my spot that aren't willing to reach out and help others that look at us and see like, wow, like he's at a big stage, like he's doing a lot of great things, like and me being there for them, I think it's tremendous.
The ability to partner with Gabe in a formal program, what we call the YSS Ambassador Program, has really created a platform for him to expose other people to the work that YSS is doing, to leverage his platform to help elevate the needs of our organization. And Gabe has really been a great volunteer. We're asking him to do things on occasion, but it's more likely that he's reaching out to us and saying, hey, what can I do next?
I mean, I know they see me as a basketball player, but I also just want to see me as just a person too. Like, I'm here for them, try to brighten up their day, because what they're going through is very self-isolated. They're not there with their families and with other kids that they really don't know. That can be tough.
These are kids who, some of them have aspirations to play collegiate sports, and to have a local celebrity like a Gabe Kalscheur take the time to stop by, to visit with these kids, and not just be a figurehead. He's taking the time to get to know them personally. He's reaching out in different ways, and it's authentic, and the kids know it, and they love it when he stops by.
Yeah, I think it's important because it really leaves a blueprint or a footprint of who you are as a person. I mean, I feel like in this life that we live, it's really our obligation, if you have a platform, if you inspire others, to really leave a footprint of who you are to them, not just to, I mean, obviously I love basketball and that's who I am. I mean, it's not who I am, but it's a big part of my life and a big part of what I do, but I'm also a person that's a child of God, and God, I feel like all God's always wanted us to do is help others and reach out to others that are in need. So if I can do that, if I can take time in my day to open up and give my time to others that are in need, I feel like I'm living in God's glory and God's word.
I love that story. Matt, after visiting YSS, can you tell us more about the services they provide for kids and families in Ames?
Yeah, they offer before and after school care, housing and shelter, life skills, youth development, and so much more. It's an organization that ISU students and athletes have gotten involved with over the years. You can learn more about this organization at yss.org.
Not only are ISU students going to class, practice, and volunteering, but they're also joining clubs and exploring outside of the classroom on a regular basis. Let's get an up-close look at a club on campus that's reaching new heights.
Cyclone Rocketry is a club at Iowa State, mostly in the aerospace engineering department. We have students from all different classes and levels and majors, really. Each year we build a rocket for the Spaceport America Cup in New Mexico, and we also have many projects that lead up into that, but that's our big project at the end of the year. This is our 6th year as a club. It started as a way for people to build experience and use that to help them get jobs afterwards. We also do a lot of community outreach as a method of kind of inspiring the students in the area to come and think about STEM as a possibility. It's a way for us to build experience while having a lot of fun. Rockets are typically as fun as they are hard.
So it is a big process. Usually in the fall we focus a lot on designing as well as doing a lot of tests with different rockets to prepare for our Spaceport Cup.
Launch.
And then in the spring we do a lot of manufacturing as well as getting our final rocket ready. So yeah, it's a lot of subscale tests as well as a lot of designing, and it's a great way to get a hands-on opportunity and work with a lot of different people.
So every student has a sub-team that they're a part of, and they all contribute a very distinct part of the rocket. Aerostructures does all of our airframe, mechanical does all of our metals and our piston injection system this year, avionics handles all of our flight computers and our air brakes, and propulsion handles our motor that we make every year, and recovery, the parachutes, the deployment methods, and payload every year designs an experiment that is part of the competition that flies.
It's really fun just to be able to discuss with other people about real engineering challenges and put some of my schooling background into a real tangible product. There's some real substance behind it, and I think that's just the best part about it.
A lot of our alumni have gone off to some pretty large companies. I know someone who's gone off to NASA. Our founder works at SpaceX. Joining this club really opens up a lot of opportunities after college as well, and it's also a great networking opportunity as well to talk to the alumni and see what they do or what they're up to now. So it really does open a lot of doors.
The best part about being in this club has to be the hands-on experience that you get that you just can't get usually anywhere else. As president, I've been able to get my hands on all the different parts of the rocket. It's really fun to see how all those parts integrate and fit together and how very different approaches can all be integrated into one rocket at the end. The Spaceport America Cup is an intercollegiate rocketry competition. This year they're scheduled to have 150 teams from around the world, and every continent except for Antarctica is represented by at least one team. It's this big competition. Everybody brings a rocket that competes. There's split up into divisions, so there's 10K and 30K, which represents how high your rocket's going to go, either 10,000 feet or 30,000. And then there's COTS, which stands for Commercial Off the Shelf, or SRAD, Student Researched and Developed, and that is what your motor is. Last year we placed second in our division, in the 10K SRAD division, out of about a dozen or so teams that originally signed up to be there, and this year we're hoping to win 30K.
It is super stressful at first, like as you're counting down like 3, 2, 1, and then you see it go up and everyone's just silent watching it. And then it's super awesome when you spot it in the sky and you see that the parachute has ejected, and everyone's just cheering, and it's honestly just a great moment where you know that all of your hard work is really just paid off at the end of the day.
Talk about hands-on experience.
I imagine that experience will have a lifelong impact on those students.
Speaking of having an impact, we have one last surprise.
To close out the evening, we are delighted to announce this year's recipient of the ISU Alumni Association's Impact Award.
Hello, I'm Jeff Johnson, the Talbot Endowed President and CEO of the Iowa State University Alumni Association. And on behalf of the staff and board of directors of the ISU Alumni Association and Cyclones everywhere, it's my pleasure to recognize the 2023 Impact Award winner as part of our virtual State Day celebration. The ISU Alumni Association Board of Directors established this award in 2000 to recognize individuals, businesses, organizations, or units whose programs or accomplishments brought broad recognition to the university and increased the involvement of ISU constituents in the life of the university during the year prior to being nominated. The 2023 Impact Award winner is the ISU Pappajohn Center for Entrepreneurship, which we learned about earlier in our program. The center is part of the Ivy College of Business and the Office of Economic Development and Industry Relations. As you heard earlier, the Pappajohn Center offers numerous programs and services that broadly reach and connect students, community entrepreneurs, business professionals, and alumni. The center has two primary objectives: to create a culture that encourages entrepreneurship and innovation, and to provide the tools necessary for building and improving Iowa's businesses. In the past year, the Pappajohn Center team visited more than 80 classrooms, including 7,000 students from 71 different majors, awarded more than $125,000 in prizes to pitch and business plan competition winners, and facilitated the investment of more than $127,000 in support for students in the SciStarter Summer Accelerator program. Center staff hosted 172 workshops, seminars, and events with more than 2,500 participants and spent 448 hours mentoring students. In 2021, the Pappajohn Center won the U.S. Association for Small Business and Entrepreneurship Model Program Award, the association's most prestigious award. In 2022, the center was named a NASDAQ Center of Entrepreneurial Excellence by the Global Consortium of Entrepreneurship, the organization's highest honor. And for the third year in a row, Iowa State has been named a top entrepreneurship program, ranked 11th in the country for undergraduate entrepreneurship by the Princeton Review and Entrepreneur magazine. Congratulations to the ISU Pappajohn Center for Entrepreneurship as you add the Impact Award to your impressive list of accolades. We wish you continued success as you curate a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation at Iowa State and support Iowa small businesses. I invite any of you who are yet to be members to join Cyclones everywhere in supporting programs like the Impact Award, student leadership programs including Homecoming, quality communications like Iowa Stater Magazine and e-newsletter, plus in-person and virtual events like this one. By becoming a member today, find information on joining your Alumni Association at isualum.org/join. Best wishes from all of us here at Iowa State University and the ISU Alumni Association. And as always, go Cyclones!
Of